everybody. I'm Anita Finley, your host for the Zoomer Times TV show that we do quite a few interviews each week. And our first interview for this week is a wonderful woman, someone who, if you don't know her, you need to get to know her. And if you do anything at the Kravis Center, you do need to get to know her, because what she does is she makes a lot of things happen. And she's actually, her official title is Plan Giving and Endowment Officer for the Kravis Center up in West Palm Beach. So welcome to you. So it's really Margaret May Damen. And Margaret May, you've been around for a while and you do such good things, and we're glad you're with the Kravis Center.
Well, thank you, Anita. I like being around. Yes, I have. And let me tell you, right here at the center, it's my dream come true when I can work for the center and all the wonderful people that are here. You know, as my role as a plan giving and endowment officer, when people ask me what I do at the center, I tell them my role is to help donors use their charitable dollars very wisely, and to support the mission of our center here to enhance the quality of life in Palm Beach County. However, today, since it's tax season, it's the perfect time to share with your viewers how they can use their charitable dollars wisely and also save on taxes. You know, for senior boomers age 70 and a half and older, the IRS has special tax savings rules for their IRA. It is possible they can make a distribution directly from their IRA account to a charitable organization just like the Kravis Center and avoid taxes on the distribution. The law is called the IRA charitable rollover, and the Kravis Center makes it very easy for senior boomers to enjoy the benefits of the IRA charitable rollover, as well as help us continue to provide award-winning education programs and world-class entertainment for the community.
That's excellent. I'm glad you shared that. But those are the kinds of things people need to know about. Well, why don't you make believe that you're talking now to someone who has money they actually want to put either in their will or they want to take it out of their IRA. What would you tell them, Margaret?
Well, I would tell them, first of all, that they need to look at their heart and that they need to feel what it is that they value and what they're passionate about, and then to go to the right professionals to be able to do what the how is. But my job is really to talk about the why, and why people want to give to the Kravis Center, why they want to leave a legacy, and all the things that can happen when they support what they love. You know, I think that we have at the Kravis Center two ideas. One is that we have the benefits that are feeling, and we have the benefits that are facts. And a lot of times, most of the job I do is what we call above the line. I'm talking about the why. I want to hear the story. I want to find out why people are coming to the center, why they enjoy the performances. But then again, there are the facts on the bottom side. So today I'd like to talk about both the why, the top side, and the bottom side, which are the facts. And you know, here at the Kravis Center, I call feeling benefits that the benefits are for the heart and the soul. Don't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. When I attend those performances, no matter what troubles I've had, no matter what, I feel so good. And I look around me and see such a group of people who knows what their problems are, but they're all so thrilled. And that's what those performances do. So it's just what you said. It's feelings. So maybe that's the why.
That's the why, because donors are the heart and soul of the Kravis Center. Let's look at it that way. Remember that tune when we were young and played it on the piano, perhaps, you know, our first piano lesson? But and we love our donors that way, because when senior boomers become donors, they become members of the Kravis family. You know, we say the Kravis Center is yours truly. There's something here for everyone, and they have the priority when they're donors to get the best available seats in the house for all the performances before the public. Very important, as you know from putting all of the ads in your Boomer Times.
Yes, and actually, as you're talking about this, people who go to theater when I'm going to back up a little bit. When I was working in Boca Raton for our Vita sales, people would come, and mostly it was IBMers. They said, well, we don't know why we want to be in Boca Raton. You don't have any culture here. And I said, it's coming, it's coming. And of course, when that marvelous $60 million building was built, and the years ago, I don't even know how many, was it 30 years ago, whatever, you probably 35.
Oh, 1992, when Mr. Dreyfus got the computer
Yes.
together, but it started in 78, as you remember. We had different places it was going to be until it finally found its home right here. And Mr. Dreyfus was the cheerleader extraordinaire.
And actually, the Kravis Center, to me, is the star of West Palm Beach. You get off I-95, and there's this gorgeous building, and because of the Kravis, that's what I think has made West Palm Beach so beautiful and so popular. So, it is what you were saying. It's actually not only the performances, it's what it stands for to the community.
And the other thing when I'm talking about the why is I talk to donors and patrons and just even entertainers at times if we're backstage about what their values are. Somehow donors and people that give money express their values through their donations. And at the Kravis Center, this IRA charitable rollover has only been around since 2015, and a lot as a tax law from the IRS. And a lot of people don't know about it yet. So the wonderful part today is we can talk about it because they could use their rollover to, again, show their values through their donation, through annual membership, anywhere, something for everybody, every budget from $100 to $100,000 and more. Or they could sponsor a performance or an education series if it's available. They could donate in honor of a special occasion, whether it's a birthday, an anniversary, a marriage. We get lots of donations that way. And also they can give to the permanently restricted endowment fund, because that will ensure the center will be here for future generations. And when you come next time, look at that gorgeous, gorgeous embrace sculpture on the front family center plaza. It is amazing. And that's a tongue twister, but it's the embrace right there. And the names are on there of people that we have honored who have given a legacy gift to the Kravis Center already.
Margaret May, and let me just tell everybody again, you're listening to, she's a star in her own right. This is Margaret May Damen, and Margaret May is the Plan Giving and Endowment Officer at the Kravis Center for the Performing Arts. It's a very, very big responsibility. You can imagine how much it costs to put on the shows and to pay the staff and to do all the things. And of course, we haven't even touched on the education part of it and all the outsources that you do. But if you're going to give any money, you can do it through your IRA, as Margaret May said, or you can put it in your will. You can do it in so many ways, and you will feel so good. It really makes you immortal. I've always said that to people. When you do something like that, you really never die. Your life lives on.
That's exactly true. And some of the tax benefits from the IRA charitable rollover are very important. I can't give tax advice, but I did want to let your viewers know some of the benefits, because especially since the tax laws are about to change, and we're certainly never going to go down. They're always going to go up. So the fact that you can have an IRA rollover directly from your IRA trustee to the Kravis Center and avoid the taxes on the distribution is so important for so many of your senior boomers. In fact, the fact that it comes from the direct transfer from the IRA plan is part of the reasons that we are looking to be able to reduce for a donor. If they give through the IRA, they can reduce their annual income level. They can help lower their Medicare premiums. They can decrease the amount of Social Security that may be subject to tax, because they're giving a donation, but they're not having to add their IRA, which is usually taxable when you take out the money. They don't have to add that to their income. because they're rolling it directly over, transfer it. That's the rule from the IRS, transferring it directly to the Kravis Center, so that they may save quite a bit on the taxes that they have to pay now, and especially if they go up. And the other thing is that it generates no income tax, as I said, but it also doesn't generate a deduction. You can't double dip. We'd all love to double dip, right? But we can't double dip. But even if they don't itemize, they can use this technique. And I think probably the two things that are most important, which are exciting, is that you know that any person can give $100,000 a year from their IRA and roll it over to charitable organizations, so they can make a lot of wonderful things happen in this community. And they don't have to do it all at once. They can do $10,000 here, $50 here, but it is up to $100,000 that a person can roll over, avoiding taxes every year if they have that much in their IRA. And quite frankly, Anita, do you know that there are $92 trillion in IRAs in the United States of America?
Really?
And over 51 households have an IRA. And imagine, you know, what are the ages of our donors now that are boomers? 57 to 75. So some of them already can use this technique, and others will be there because we got 71 million donors, you know, potentially from the baby boomers if they all came to us. I mean, you know, I can dream on, right?
Right, you're good. That's why you're so good. Well, let me ask you, is this something new?
Well, it's something new that's being
Rollover?
discussed more because of what happened with COVID and other things. And many of the performing arts and all the arts organizations, you know, we lost so much money. And I think the Americans for the Arts said that it was $46.1 billion that was lost from all of the not-for-profit organizations in the United States. But let me tell you, I've got to tell you one thing that's really good, that for seniors that are, this is for anyone over 70 and a half. But, you know, sometimes age has its privilege, because if you're 72, you have to take a required minimum distribution out of your IRA. And if you do that and roll it over using this technique of the IRA rollover, it's not taxable. So you avoid the taxes, you do your required minimum distribution at age 72 when IRS says you do it, and you get all these benefits that we've been talking about. It's like fairyland in a way.
Yeah, but it's good that you're there to share this. And so people who are listening now, let's have them get in touch with you. And how would they do that, Margaret May?
Well, they can go to the Kravis Center website, and they can go to endowment.org. They can call me directly at my phone here, which is 561-651-4230. They can also get me through my email, which is Damen@kravis.org. And so they could one way, or they can come to the Kravis Center and say hi. I'd love to meet them.
Let me just ask you that, and since you mentioned that, the performances are starting. Some things I see are happening there. Tell the audience what's going on there now.
Well, we have a few performances in the Person Hall. We're having several of the performing arts from around the community here. Last night, I think we had, or the night before, the Palm Beach Atlantic dancers. With safe distancing, this was in Rinker, safe distancing and masks and taking the temperature. We're not doing anything yet in Dreyfus Hall. That won't happen until, of course, the fall. But small, safe distance tables, it's sort of like cabaret style. It's really kind of nice. We had a young artist concert a few weeks ago, and people loved it because they could have a drink to the table. They before the performance started, and they just enjoyed the camaraderie, and it was very nice. And I think people just want to get out. You know, we've been there for so long, and sort of cooped up.
And let me ask you a question. When I attend the performances, and before the performance, they say this has been brought to you by, and they name people who have donated. How does one do that?
Well, Julie Heathington is our sponsorship chair person and works as a team here under Diane Bergner, who is our Senior Director of Development, and that's all part of our team that I'm part of here too. And each year she does get together the list of those performances and education programs that can be sponsored, what the cost of that is, and she'd be the best one to contact for that. Because that is one, you could also use your IRA rollover to make that sponsorship donation, and they come in various sizes, in terms of the amount of money. But Julie Heathington, fabulous person and fabulous team member here, and she is the head of the core of all the sponsorship programs. So that's when you hear their name there. And many of these donors that come here, I like to call them that they have found their real passion and their real opportunity and their real home. And you know what? You can take that word, Anita, and think R, E, A, and L. Now, if you look what we've talked about, the values and also the fact that we can use the facts there. If you think about it, when they become real donors, they are reflecting their values. That's the R. They are enjoying the entertainment. That's the E. They are taking the action and attending the programs and the performances. That's the A. And last, the L, they love the Kravis Center and we love them. So we love the fact that all of our donors, and many of them are mature donors that are senior boomers, are real Kravis Center donors.
Right. I was thinking the L was going to be legacy because it is
well,
a legacy.
Well, it can be too. We can do two L's. Thank you. I want you on my team.
No, but it's that's what I always think of it as. Someone drives by and the grandchildren will know that that was something that their grandparents or great-grandparents had a part in, because I know that you might want to talk just a little bit about the wonderful educational programs that you put on.
Yes, this whole year has been virtual programs, and they've been remarkably well received in the classrooms all over the county from the teachers and from the parents. We'll be doing a lot more this summer with more of the classroom programs. Summer interaction, where they have the performers, then the students listen, and then there's a Q&A that they can talk to the performer, but it's all virtual. I don't think many organizations have done the magnificent amount of work to get a virtual program into the community now that the children, we have over, some years 60, 70,000 children come to the Kravis Center to see the performances, and the buses are all paid for by as you mentioned earlier, one of our endowment people who left a legacy so that the public school system doesn't have to spend any money on that. And the fact that there's just so much that can be done with the education and this technology now. Tracy does a great job, an absolute great job in her work with the education program. Tracy Butler, been here, I think, 19 years. One thing that's interesting about here, Anita, is everyone has longevity. When you're talking about longevity with leaving a legacy, well, I think the staff, over, I would say 30 or 40% have been here 20, 22 years. Right. Is that amazing? I mean,
it's an amazing thing. They're chained to their desk with love. No, it's true. I mean, I've known Linda Birdsey for a long time, and I've known a lot of them. Then it is, well, of course, it was the first major building or the first major organization that happened in West Palm Beach, and of course now we see others, but that was a very, very strong statement for them. And Alex Dreyfus, thank goodness, he's been the pioneer. He's the one. He saw it years ago, and when he was going to do this, what are you going to do? Come on, who's going to come there? Are they going to come across from Palm Beach? He said yes, and he was right.
And they did. The dream became a reality, and now millions of school children are able to come to have the live arts part of them when they start early, so they do have those values. And the other people, that are that have the means can be part of the Legacy Society. We have the Helen K. Persons Legacy Society, which are for those people that want to leave a legacy, or have in their will and their trust, or even have already given money to the Helen K. Persons Society. Our endowment here at the Kravis Center is just $25 million right now. It's still growing, but it's fabulous because there we are financially secure for the future. And the fact that if you go to our kravis.org website, there's an entire section called Why We Give. Remember going back to the why that we talked about earlier? There's fabulous testimonials from so many of our people, what made it their passion and how they wanted to express it at the Kravis Center. I think there are 40 or 50 testimonials there, and it's amazing.
Fantastic, right? And and they're really putting the money where they're, that's a lot to give money. It's got to be good. And I was just telling Margaret May that I have this whole Kravis on Broadway on the back page of Boomer Times, and we have the most wonderful shows. People aren't going to give if it's not a successful performance, and all the shows are successful performances. So they must sit there with a big smile on their face and say, "I gave and I'm giving," because they're proud of what you're presenting.
Exactly. And these 7 shows that are coming up, the subscriptions are now on sale for the donors. And so you can you'll be getting your brochures very shortly. You can call the box office. There's various ways to go on the website right now and see. I mean, we're going to have, starting in November, Come From Away. That wonderful 9/11 saga from Newfoundland when everything's closed down, and then Dear Evan Hansen and Summer and Cats. I'm happy to have Cats come back, and My Fair Lady, and An Officer and a Gentleman. And guess what? I don't know if you've heard from Linda Birdsey yet, but Wicked is coming in.
I see that. Well, it's actually on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's on the bottom.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. That's an enticement for people to get right now and either call our donor concierge line at 561-651-4320, or call the box office at 561-832-7469, or email the box office. We make it easy at boxoffice@kravis.org, or visit kravis.org/Broadway. And last, you can complete your IRA rollover and become a donor, and then you're on the list forever.
Yeah, that's right. Now, is that something you can do every year?
What? So
the IRA.
Yes, you can do it every year, and all during the year, and you can do it up to $100,000.
Forever. You can't do more than 100.
Of course, you'll run out of money, maybe not. But as I said, how much is there? $92 trillion in there.
Right.
But you can give up to $100,000, and every year, especially, of course, all this happens after 70 and a half. Remember, you have to be 70 and a half to start taking your IRA. Well, that's the maximum you have to start taking out from your IRA. But they changed the rules 2 years ago that you didn't have to do the required minimum distribution until 72. So,
well, if people want to do this, I suggest that they get in touch with you, because you're the expert. You're the one that's going to figure out how they can do it the easiest and the most secure way and the legitimate way. So as I said, this is Margaret May Damen, and you're going to want to talk to her. She's the big cheese with this. She knows all about it. She's been in the financial world for years. This is what she loves, but she loves the Kravis Center. And so you can—
Anita, let me just say also that they need to talk to their professional advisors. We encourage every single time that there's something like this, the how part, the below part, they really encourage them to talk to their financial advisors, their professional advisors, so they know that it's right for them, their situation. So I'm the why gal, and their professionals are the how people. How's that?
Right, but their professionals will get in touch with you. I mean, it's an organ. You all do this together.
Exactly. We're a team. We're a team, and we're around the table together.
Well, I'm so really thrilled that we have just about a minute or so left, but this has been an extraordinary interview for me, because I've known Margaret May Damen, and she's doing a job that most people can't do, frankly. I have to say that. Fundraising is not easy, but doing it the way Margaret May does it is just beautiful. She knows what she's doing. She's been around a long time, and she has this wonderful spirit about the Kravis Center. So how can you go wrong, right?
You can't go wrong. So come on down and be
Come
a
on
real
down.
Kravis Center donor, REAL.
Yes. Right, and just talk to Margaret May Damen. Well, thank you, Margaret May. I look forward to seeing you now that I've connected back with you, and Linda Birdsey is a wonderful person. That's who's been my connection, and hopefully I'll see you at the next big show.
You will, and thank you. It's been such a wonderful pleasure to chat with you today.
It has for me also. Thank you, Margaret May. We'll be back with our next interview. Bye, everybody.
Bye.